I'm your host, the one and only King Kansas, here to bring you another movie recommendation. Not going to waste any time. I'm a little excited about this. I'm going to just get into it. I'm doing a movie recommendation film on probably one of the best comic book movies ever on the face of this earth. What the hell am I talking about? I'm talking about Logan. This little bad boy. Let me show you. I have to tell you. I picked up this collector's version that has pictures and shit, because you know what? I'm telling you right now, it's such a damn good film, and it sucks that it didn't get nominated. It should have won Best Picture of 2017 in my opinion. So like always, guys, in these movie reviews, I'll give you my quick little non-spoiler, and then I'm going to get into a few spoilers in the second portion of this video. So I'll keep it as clean and spoiler-free as I can in the first section, by usually going through the actors, maybe revealing a little bit what kind of characters played, and what I thought overall generalized, so you guys don't get spoiled. Because if you haven't seen it from 2 years, 3 years ago, something's wrong with you. So anyways, as far as I'm remembering, this movie got released in March of 2017. It's about 2 hours and maybe 10 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. It's directed by James Mangold, brought out by Fox Studios, and it was rated R, and it made over like $600 million, which is pretty damn phenomenal back then, because I think there was only Deadpool. Okay, this is the cast. It stars Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Daphne Keane as X-23, or Laura, his daughter, which is not spoilers. If you guys are comic book nerds, you probably figured that out. Boyd Holbrook, he plays Pierce, that robotic one-armed mutant that goes and hunts him down or something like that, which is pretty cool for this doctor called Dr. Rice. He's played by Richard E. Grant. There's Stephen Merchant. If you know who that is, he plays Caliban. He's that white pasty dude that you've seen in all the trailers that helps Logan take care of Professor X. He also directed a little film called Fighting With My Family, which was phenomenal. That movie's great. Go check that out if you're a WWE fan, which I am. Anyways, Daphne Keane plays Laura. You got Elizabeth Rodriguez, Gabriella. I think she's either the nurse or the mom. I always get them confused. There's Eric LaSalle, Elise Neal, Quincy Faust. They play the family that Logan and Professor X meet up with. Let's just say that, and then I'll spoil that in a second. Quincy Faust, Alan Coronel, Ronaldo Gallegos. This is a hard one. Christoph Solzhenitsyn plays Mohawk. Stephen Dunleavy, Daniel Bernhardt, Ryan Sturz, and Brandon Melendi. My God, I'm telling you, those are the Reavers. There's like so many different factions in there. People are hunting down, I think they're called the Reavers if I'm not mistaken, and there's like, trust me, the little kids, there's too many to list off of, but that's the gist of it. My God, what a cast. Beginning to end, phenomenal. It might be rated R, but it was violence used to kind of like prolong the story. It was kind of like a second resort to Logan. He learned over the years, you know, he's suffering from the trailer, so you guys can see it. He's not doing too well. Professor X seems to be a little bit not there himself. Something went down that he's kind of protecting him. We don't know exactly what, but you eventually find out the truth as the film goes on, and it comes full circle. Let's just say that. This film is amazing. Shot gorgeously. There's a black and white version. If you get the Blu-ray, the collector's edition, you get both. I haven't seen it in black and white yet. You know what? I'm not in the 60s anymore. I prefer color. Amazing storytelling from beginning to end. It closes all the Wolverine, Patrick Stewart storyline from day one, from the first X-Men film that came out in 2000 right up to here. If this was the movie that was going to end all X-Men films, which in a sense I kind of got that from Fox, because Fox got bought over by Marvel Studios and Disney, it was a good way to go out. Like, cool. Is it a perfect film? No. I'll tell you right now, those little kids drove me crazy. Even the third or fourth time watching it, they could have cut that down a little bit more, and you kind of got the gist of how serious the situation was if they kind of trimmed a little bit from it and had more freaking Wolverine in it. Fighting, that is. Not to say that you didn't see the rage and him going all out, because when he goes all out, he goes all out. The Force scene, oh my God, that's what I'm going to say. There's a hotel scene as well with Professor X. That was phenomenal. The way they shot that, and my God, to see the special effects. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. That's how good it was. Like, to witness it and witness it happen, The opening scene of the film is phenomenal. Like, it gives you an idea where Wolverine is in his life and where he needs to go. And then, of course, Daphne King's character gets introduced to him somehow. This scientist going all wacky using some DNA of somebody. And that's where it kind of unravels there. He's reluctant at first, and then it's cool. The connection between him and King's character, Laura and Logan, phenomenal, with Professor X kind of like being there to kind of like showing him the way, even though he had his own issues that he was dealing with. Caliban was great. Stephen Merchant's character was phenomenal. Every character that was involved had a purpose. The compound scene that you'll see in the trailers that he's driving the car, phenomenal. Like, it had humor, ups and downs. It was an emotional roller coaster. There's a couple of big scenes in the movie that you kind of didn't expect, but you should have expected. That was a little bit, like, oh my god, right? Couple of letdowns, which I'll get more into spoilers. The villain, I wasn't too happy with who the villain was, but I understood what, because it's kind of like Wolverine was facing his own demons in a sense, but came to fruition kind of thing. The kids drove me bananas. I know they shouldn't have been in it. And the ending of the film, I was happy in one way. The last scene was cool, but the scene before it, I wasn't too happy. But overall, one of the best comic book movies I've seen in my life. They R-rated, whatever. Don't let your kids watch it. I'll tell you guys right now. I highly recommend it. It's Wolverine going out with the bang, and Hugh Jackman's best performance, and Patrick Stewart's by far by none. Wow, Oscar worthy in my opinion. So I highly recommend it. So get your asses, watch it if you haven't seen it. It's not your typical comic book movie. No, it's like a Western action movie with some story and some heart. Period. Okay, spoilers. Put that spoiler up. My God, that open freaking scene when he goes after the guys who are trying to rob him from his limo. Holy shit, the way he took off the guy's hand, the claws came out, like, reluctant. My God, was that Wolverine? Like, I'm getting goosebumps saying it. That opening scene grabbed everybody. I don't care. You jumped out of your seat. When you seen that shit, it was game over. Like, you were sold. From what he was doing, taking medicine, he's not doing too well. Looks like he's freaking dying. He's getting adamantium poison in his blood. And it's taking a toll on his body. You can see he's not like what he used to be. He has to take care of Professor X. We learned that's being taken care of by that albino Caliban character, kept in a big storage container somewhere. It looks like in the middle of Texas, to tell you the truth, to keep him safe and away from people and hurting other people. As you find out, they've been hiding a secret. Like Professor X is not all there, guys. Let's just say that. And he kind of like blames what happened to the rest of the X-Men on him. Meanwhile, we all know the truth. It was Professor X that did a mind bleep to everybody and took them out. And Wolverine got thing, but he kind of took the blame to protect Professor X so he can actually live peacefully the rest of his life, as many years that would be. Because they're both aged and all, I'm too old for this kind of shit. Then you throw in the mix Daphne King's character being created, we find out, from Wolverine's DNA. So it's his daughter, but not really his daughter, but it's from his DNA, so it's his kid, no matter what you say. That was cool. How he interacted with the kid. He didn't want to have anything to do with her, and she idolized the X-Men and A, B, and C, and Wolverine kind of like didn't want a part of it. And then Patrick Stewart kind of convinced him. So they kind of get her under the wing. He protects her, and then of course he's getting hunted by that one-armed freak character there, hunting them all down, who wants the kid. And that, oh my God, that compound scene when they go ape shit and she goes ape shit, and the head getting I'm telling you guys, you haven't seen anything yet. That whole scene's cool, them leaving. The hotel scene, oh my God, when everything slows down because of what's going down with Professor X losing his fucking mind. And Wolverine slowly waking his way, and he can kind of go, and it's killing him, but he's doing it so he can stop Professor X from killing the rest of them. My God, that knife scene right through the guy's thing, the blood going everywhere. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. That's how damn good it is. Special effects are phenomenal in this, guys. Stories well written by James Mangold. Holy shit. Anyways, so that's what goes down there, and then they end up going on the run. They go meet this family, black family. My God, it was so peaceful to see Wolverine actually sitting down at a table eating dinner with his daughter that he doesn't know. Professor X, they just wanted to sit down and have a good meal. And of course, shit hits the fan. People come attack. The mutants show up, and that's where you see this fucking clone of Wolverine, this new, meaner version of Wolverine. If he didn't have heart, that's what my letdown was. I was expecting maybe Sabretooth to come back and surprise everybody, and that's who he would kind of have a showdown with. But no, it was his younger self, and holy shit, he was still badass. Don't get me wrong. And that ends up causing the demise of Professor X. He ends up trusting this Wolverine guy, thinking it's Wolverine, to get him out of there. He ends up biting the big bullet, and that was a holy shit. Wolverine, like, fucking lost it. I'll tell you right now, he just went ape shit around there, like, bodies everywhere. Like, to say, like, but the only cool thing is, anything that happened in the film had a purpose. They didn't just kill people just because it looked cool. It was a part of the story to progress the story forward. The kids drove me crazy. You guys probably heard me earlier in the video. It just, cool. I get it. They wanted to get them all into safety, and Wolverine had a big part to kind of preserve the X-Men mutant line going to Canada, where we're from, Canadian boys here. Logan, Canadian, right? And that was great, but it was just too long. You didn't have to go on and on and on. Like, I don't know, they could have trimmed 20 minutes off the movie and put it towards somewhere else. Like, having Wolverine rip apart more people or dive more into the whole Weapon X project kind of bullshit, which was kind of neat. His nightmares and shit. That was cool. The force scene, holy shit, when he has to take the serum to go one last time and go ape shit, like, we're talking about crazy Wolverine, the rage. Oh my god, that was phenomenal. Him taking out tanks and shit and getting shot up, and his daughter fighting by his side, and oh my god, it was like winner take all basically situation. The only letdown is the way he dies. He ends up getting stabbed through the heart by that other one. He gets put on the tree and he ends up like, that was kind of lame. I didn't like it, but you know what? I wanted him to run into a blaze of glory, and that's pretty much what you'll see the end of him. But no, they had to do the whole, you know, touchy scene between him and Laura. Daphne King's character was good. Like I said, emotional roller coaster ride from beginning to end. I'm leaving out a whole bunch of more crap, guys, that you got to check out for yourself. Trust me, it's not just all action. There's story, there's heart, reluctance. Why, you know, this, finding out the truth between, you know, what Xavier did, and he kind of covered up, and then I'm telling you, it's so good. This was the perfect way to end the Fox X-Men universe. That's it. Who cares about Deadpool and shit? This is probably the one you could probably watch at the end of everything, even when they bring Deadpool 3 out and whatever. That would be the topper if that's what they're going to do. But in my books, Wolverine ended well. It was an amazing, almost perfect film, except, you know, those bratty little kids, the way he dies. That's about it. That's the only negative, and that's not even really a negative. Just because it didn't end the way I wanted, it doesn't make it a good film. The whole him being buried in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta with the cross that kind of gets tilted by her with the X to symbolize the X-Men. Amazing cinematography. The way it ended was fabulous. It was good. It almost brought the king tear to his eyes. It's phenomenal. And like I said, it's not a comic book movie. It's a movie with heart that's kind of a little bit of Western and everything. It has a little bit of everything. And trust me, it's not your typical film. Anybody will love it. And it's probably one of my top 10 movies, if not near the top of my superhero films of all time. Arguably should have won an Oscars in 2017, but you know how those rich stooges are. You know, trust me, Hollywood's going to be Hollywood no matter what. It's changing, but eventually one of these days, superhero film, if it's done well like this was, or the Joker that came out, it will win movie of the year, 100%. But, you know, it's a slow progression. Things are changing for everybody, which is great. So I highly recommend this film with Hugh Jackman. He did justice to this character. I really hope he comes back at some form in the MCU, just a cameo or something. But this is the last we see of him, and Patrick Stewart as Xavier. That was the way to go, in my opinion, and it was amazing. So there you go, guys. There's my movie recommendation on Logan, starring Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you like it as much? Did those little brats bug you as much as they did me? Check it out. Check out all new content as well, guys, on the Movie Throne. It's kind of called The Network now because we're doing a little bit of wrestling. There's a little small wrestling podcast that me and the Twos dropped last week. This week's episode coming up is going to be amazing. It's always going to be amazing, talking about wrestling, pay-per-views, interviews, you name it, the works. Check that out. It's up right now on the Movie Throne YouTube channel. Check out my own podcast, the Movie Throne Podcast, weekly. figure reviews on the King's Collection Vault, the Movie Throne channel. So check that out. And like always, like, share, subscribe. Stay off the King's Throne, and I will see you again next week. Take it easy.